Good evening. It's Tuesday, April 1st, 2026. Welcome to the Daily AI News Digest, brought to you by bestai.org. Let's get right to today's top stories. Coming up on the Digest today, we're looking at a record-breaking funding round from OpenAI that is already reshaping the entire industry. At the same time, its biggest rival, Anthropic, is in full-blown crisis mode after a massive source code leak. And NVIDIA just hit the accelerator on the hardware arms race, unveiling the next-gen platform that will define the future of AI.
We're going to start today with a story that's, well, it's more than just a headline. It really feels like a structural turning point for the global economy. OpenAI has officially confirmed it. They've closed a funding round of $122 billion.
Now, that single round pushes the company's valuation to, get this, $852 billion. Just to put that in perspective, that makes OpenAI one of the most valuable enterprises on the entire planet, public or private.
The numbers here are just operating at a scale that kind of defies traditional finance. We're talking $2 billion in revenue every month from 900 million weekly active users. And yeah, you have the giants like SoftBank co-leading the investment. But what's truly new here is the $3 billion that came directly from retail investors. That's a first at this scale.
So what's the real story here? The bottom line is that the capital markets have totally changed how they see this. AI isn't just another software category anymore. This kind of money, this is the kind of cash you use to build national power grids or global telecom networks. AI is now being financed like essential infrastructure. And all that capital is being used to fuel a major pivot in strategy. OpenAI is actually shelving its high-profile Sora video project. That's a huge move away from creative tools. Their entire focus now is on building a single, unified superapp, one that bundles chat, code, and autonomous agents that can actually reason and act on their own. The mission is clear. They're shifting from creativity as a service to intelligence as a service for big business.
But while OpenAI is celebrating this massive win, its main competitor is navigating a complete and utter crisis. Let's turn to the developing story over at Anthropic.
In what sources are calling a truly catastrophic blow to the industry's whole secrecy as security model, a botched software update accidentally exposed over 500,000 lines of their proprietary source code for their Claude Code tool. It was just out there, live on a public registry for hours, basically handing the open source world the blueprints to Anthropic's crown jewels.
And that blueprint is already revealing some pretty fascinating secrets. We're seeing things like Kairos, an agent that's designed to consolidate memory when a user is idle. There's Buddy, an AI pet meant to reduce developer burnout. And the code also confirms the code names for their next-gen models, Mythos and Capybara.
But the discovery that's causing the most trouble is a feature they call Undercover Mode. The code literally contains instructions for the AI to hide its own identity, to not blow its cover when Anthropic employees use it to contribute to public open-source projects. This raises some really serious questions about transparency and whether stealth AI agents are out there influencing public software without anyone even knowing it.
All right, let's shift from the crisis in software to the hardware that actually powers it all. NVIDIA just officially hit the gas on the global AI hardware race, launching its next-generation platform, codenamed Rubin.
Now, the biggest strategic change here is the new release schedule. NVIDIA is ditching its 2-year product cycle. From now on, it's an annual one. This move pretty much forces the entire industry into a constant, incredibly expensive upgrade cycle. If you fall even one generation behind, you're at a massive disadvantage.
And the Rubin platform, you have to understand it's not just a new GPU. It's a completely integrated system. You've got the new Vera CPU, which is built specifically for agent-like reasoning, paired with the Rubin GPU and a brand new NVLink 6 interconnect. The whole thing is designed from the ground up to run these large-scale autonomous AI systems we keep hearing about.
And to really get a sense of the performance leap, you only need one number. A single rack of this new Vera Rubin system, it provides 260 terabytes per second of aggregate bandwidth.
So for context, and this is according to NVIDIA's own briefing materials, that is more data-moving capability than the entire internet. This isn't just about making things faster, it's about totally eliminating the memory and data bottlenecks that are currently holding back truly autonomous AI.
And as the technology just keeps accelerating, so do the legal and regulatory frameworks that are trying and sometimes failing to keep up. Right now, global battle lines are really being drawn.
So, in the ongoing Musk versus OpenAI lawsuit, we have some newly unsealed court documents. They reveal text messages from back in February of 2025, where Elon Musk actually pitched Mark Zuckerberg on a joint bid to acquire OpenAI. And just a week after that, Musk's own company, xAI, submitted its own unsolicited offer. Now, OpenAI's lawyers are arguing this proves the lawsuit was never about a nonprofit mission, but was just a commercial tactic. Jury selection for that trial starts on April 27th.
Meanwhile, on the regulatory front, two very different philosophies are taking shape. You've got the European Union's AI Act, which is heading for implementation in August. It's taking a very strict risk-based approach that's all about safety. In contrast, the new U.S. national framework being proposed is all about deregulation to, and I'm quoting here, unleash ingenuity. The goal is to preempt state laws and maintain America's competitive edge.
Finally tonight, let's look at the broader cultural impact of all this. Since today is April 1st, we're seeing AI show up as both the punchline to a joke and the subject of some very serious new warnings.
You know, this year's April Fool's jokes are kind of a cultural reality check. We saw everything from an AI gadget that rates how bad your laundry smells to a firewall that adjusts itself based on an IT admin's emotional state. The jokes really reflect a public that's, well, we're in awe of AI's power, but maybe also a little tired of the put AI in everything marketing trend. But underneath all that humor, there's a real concern. A new study from the University of Bath is warning that over-reliance on AI is going to erode what they call human capital. They break it down into three types of knowledge: embodied, which is that hands-on experience, and cultured, which is understanding social context, and embrained, which is our analytical judgment. In other words, practical skills, cultural nuance, and critical thinking, all things that AI can't really replicate and that we might risk losing.
And that really leaves us with the critical question of the day. As everything we've talked about tonight makes clear, AI is rapidly becoming the new foundational infrastructure of our world. So the question is, how do we make sure that essential human knowledge doesn't become its first casualty? That's all for the Daily AI News Digest. Thanks for joining us.